Hello guys, hope you all are doing well. So continuing with our LSVPN session, today we will talk about the need of SSL in LSVPN. So basically in large scale VPN, SSL is one of the required component. It is required between satellite to portal and for all the communication that is happening between the satellite and gateway. As you can see from this screenshot, let me take a snap of this one. Yeah. So as you can see from this screenshot, it is basically a satellite firewall here that we see. This satellite firewall first actually to get VPN setup, it establishes SSL with the portal. Portal authenticates the satellites and it provides the configuration. Also, it provides the signed certificate in turn to satellite firewall. So when the satellite actually when it sets the connection, it sends the serial number and CSR. So using that actually portal signs the cert and sends back the cert. So once the satellite it does have the required certificates and all the configuration, it again does the SSL with gateway firewall, or we can say hub firewall. Different terminologies are used. And then once SSL is done, it is followed by IPsec. So in other sense, actually SSL is very much important component in LSVPN. Right. So to move ahead, there are two approaches actually we can use for to set up SSL in LSVPN. So first approach is you can get the enterprise CA. That is there are well-known CAs like Commodore, DigiCert, Entrust, and many more. So you can get the all the required certificate from them and install those certificates on portal firewall gateway and satellite firewall. So that is one of the way. It depends on as it costs extra and environment design, how you want to design SSL for your environment. So second certificate is a self-signed CA you can create on Palo Alto firewall itself. So we can in that case we can create Palo Alto firewall as a root CA itself, and then using that particular firewall, it will sign the certificates for gateway firewall and satellite firewall. So that is another way we can create a CA certificate, root CA that is required to sign all server certificates. Then another one of the we can say attributes we need in LSVPN is SSL profile. So basically on gateway firewall and on the firewall that is doing a role of portal, we would need a SSL TLS profile. So what is basically SSL TLS profile? So SSL TLS profile, it basically maps the server certificate of the firewall so that whenever any client it reaches to gateway for the authentication, this gateway side firewall it uses that particular certificate which is mapped to that particular profile. So let me show you if I have here. Okay, so here you can see I have created one SSL TLS profile. Name of that is Hub TLS. You can give any name, and then the certificate here that is mapped is LSVPN root CA. It's just I mean you can create one server cert and map that here. Another protocol setting is what version, minimum version of SSL that would be supported, you know, by this server certificate. So we need to mention that, and max version that would be supported. So basically, client uses this SSL profile, and then we need to map this SSL profile. As you can see here on the gateway side, we can see that this SSL profile has been mapped here. So when we map that here, we can say that this particular profile has been used, and the certificate that is mapped to that profile is in use now. So that's the reason we use SSL TLS profile to map the certificate used by the firewall, and we need to mention what supported TLS versions are there. Next point is SSL profile is not required on the satellite, as during the registration process with portal, it issues the certificate to the satellite firewalls. So as we discussed earlier, when the satellite, it authenticates with portal, the portal sends them the certificate. So we don't need to create a separate SSL profile, because there is no VPN termination happening on satellite firewall. Basically, we don't need any SSL TLS profile there. Next is the root CA that signed the server certificate must be imported on each hub and satellite firewall. So in other sense, what we are trying to say here is, like, let's say if we have created root CA on this portal firewall, so it is acting as a CA. So from this portal firewall, we created this gateway certificate called gateway 1. Then we exported that gateway certificate from this portal firewall and imported onto this gateway firewall. So this gateway firewall, it would need that gateway server certificate and this root CA certificate, which signed this gateway certificate. So these two certificates we need to import on our gateway firewall. Then when it comes to satellite firewall, we would need only this root CA certificate here. Only one root CA certificate, because it would need only a root CA certificate to authenticate with gateway, right? So that's the point mentioned there, that root CA then signed the server certificate must be imported on each hub/gateway or and satellite firewalls. So that's the reason we need root certificate. Next one is where you can check the certificates on the firewall. Right. So if we go to device tab and certificates, you would see that all the certificates are listed here. When it comes to when the satellite firewall comes to registration on the portal firewall that is acting as portal, you would see that the satellite firewalls also listed here, certificates for satellite firewalls, right? Then there is one more field called cert profile. So what's the use of cert profile? So basically, cert profiles are used on portal firewall, wherein they map all the root CA and that. And similarly, on gateway side also, we would map those cert profile. So basically, cert profiles are there to map all the root CAs used in this environment. So if we come to this our firewall, so this is the one of the profile that is created. It's called LSVPN cert prof name you can give any. Then you can see that the certificate is like root certificate is mapped over here. Additionally, you can use for certificate verification status, you can use CRL or OCSP, depends on what configuration you want. And additionally, this all settings are there. If certificates status is unknown, if certificate status cannot be retrieved using CRL or OCSP, what actions you want to take and timeout you can mention. So in short, all the certificates that you are using here, root CA for those certificates needs to be mapped under cert profile. Then next, where is this cert profile used? This cert profile is basically used under gateway. If you come to authentication under this cert profile, you need to map this cert profile there, where in all the certificates that are used, the root CAs would be under this profile. Similarly, when you come to the portal configuration, on portal configuration, when you come to authentication tab, you will see this profile called cert profile, wherein all the root CAs are mapped under this profile. So that's the basically the use of cert profile. So this is basically all about the what SSL configuration we need to do, and what are the parameters needs what are the attributes needs to be configured there and all. So thanks for now. If you have any questions, please do comment. I'll try to answer. Thanks for your time. Have a good day. Bye.